The crypto drama is at an all-time high, and I'm here to break it down for you. We have the CEO of FTX, Sam Bankman, versus the CEO of Binance, Mr. CZ. These guys are at the top of the food chain almost when it comes to the crypto exchanges. You know them as FTX, Binance, Kraken, Coinbase. These guys are up there. All right. And so there's been a lot of drama out there, which has sent the FTX token, FTT, crashing over 90% within, honestly, 24 hours. And we're here to talk about the drama that's been going on because it's a lot to break down. And what happened? It's like we're going back to middle school. He said this, she said that. And then you hear the people passing the words down the street. Well, he said that, she said this. Oh, I heard this person say that. Oh my gosh, there's so much information out there that people are just confused of what's going on, but I'm here to summarize it all up basically for you. So you have the CEO of FTX, Sam Bankman. He is a big supporter of regulation in crypto. He has gone in front of Congress talking about the benefits of crypto and how we need to regulate the currency in the crypto market. And then you have people on the other side, like Mr. CZ. He is against the regulation of Bitcoin, as that's how it was, founded to be from the start. Away from the government's hands, less control. You own your money. You can do whatever you want to do with it, and nobody can see what you're doing, right? So you've always had that split between the community, but you have like the top dog that's all for it. He's talked in front of Congress. He has gone and backed some presidential candidates, and then you have CZ who is against all that stuff. Let's pull up Twitter so you guys can see the tweets as well. Now, the CEO of FTX, Sam, was going behind Mr. CZ's back and kind of talking about all these things about the direction of Bitcoin and talking bad stuff about Binance and about why FTX is the best resort, right? CZ didn't like that and started firing back. He's basically talking crap about his company, and this is not the way that we should be moving forward with Bitcoin, right? These guys are top dogs going at it. Now, when FTX started early on, Binance, the CEO, invested heavily into them and owned a big portion of them. But then as they grew, they eventually bought Binance out of the deal. And as part of the Binance deal, you can see here from his tweet, let me scroll in so you guys can actually read this as well. So CZ goes on to say, as part of Binance's exit from FTX equity last year, like I said, they bought the FTX bought them out. Binance has received roughly $2.1 billion USD equivalent in BUSD and FTT, basically what their currency FTX, the exchange, is backed by. Due to the recent revelations that has come to light, we have decided to liquidate any remaining FTT on their books. They're basically getting rid of completely, selling all their positions in the token. Well, that sparks fear in the market, and you have a top dog, the CEO of Binance, CZ, saying that they are going to exit their position. Well, that creates mass fear into the general public, and they start selling their positions as well. Everybody is doing a bank run, as they call it, which will create a liquidity crash. And it turns out the FTX exchange didn't have that much in reserves to pay everybody out, right? And so they went off and said, well, we will just print it. And then CZ fires back and says, that's the problem. You can just print it when you shouldn't be able just to print your token. Now, they didn't have enough, and everybody started selling their shares. And we will get to this in a second because some top dog really started the spark of saying we are exiting. They were just saying we are going to start selling our position, and everybody started selling as well. So everybody starts doing a bank run, which if you don't know what that is, if you go to the bank, the bank doesn't necessarily keep all your money in cash sitting at the bank. You try to withdraw $5,000, they start asking you questions. What are you doing with the money? Why are you taking this out? Where did you get this money? Right? They start asking these questions. If you go in there and you ask for $25,000, they don't have $25,000 sitting in there. They have to order it in, right? You deposit your money, and then they're going to go off and lend that money to get a return. So when everybody is going to the bank and trying to withdraw their money, the bank's like, we don't have this type of money. And everybody's lined up at the ATM saying, we want money. It's like, we don't have the money for you, right? We have to sell these positions. We actually don't have it. It's an asset that we can't just sell right away. And if they're forced to sell, that absolutely crashes the market. So it's a big trickle down effect. Now we scroll up in the Twitter feed. Whale Alert, which keeps track of some of the biggest wallets out there in the crypto industry. They monitor them to see how much money is being moved from wallet to wallet to exchange to predict, what might be happening in these whale accounts, right? The big boys, as we call them. Whale Alert notified came out and said, well, 23 million FTT tokens, which is equivalent to about $600 million of USD, was transferred from an unknown wallet to Binance. All right. And then CZ says, yes, that we are part of it. Right. So that sparks more fear into the market. We keep scrolling up. He goes on to say, liquidating our FTT is just a post exit risk management. Learning from Luna. If you guys remember Luna, people were having flashbacks to the Luna crash when it went to zero. So they didn't want to be part of the Luna crash. We gave support before, but we won't pretend to make love after divorce. We are not against anyone, but we won't support people who lobby against other industry players behind their backs. Like we said at the start of this video, he was going behind CZ's back, saying things about the direction of crypto, where it should be going, talking bad things about Binance, and CZ doesn't like that. Now, we got to go over to this girl, the CEO of Alameda. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Well, it's like this girl, the CEO. She basically like almost started the whole thing because she is the CEO of another company, and she basically saw this going on and says, we're out. They just dumped everything out on the market. And this is basically what's been going on. You basically have a giant bonfire. You have Sam on one side, CZ on the other. They built a fire. It's got lighter fluid all on it. It's ready to blow up. They're playing with sparks to see if it actually blows up or not, firing back and forth at each other. And then you have this girl, the CEO, sitting in the back in the shadows, like, okay, we got to do something. And she just hucks the lighter. She grabs the lighter and hucks it on there and starts running away, which sparks massive fear in the market, which started causing this massive drop in the market. Right? So you guys can start seeing what's going on here in this picture. All right. So we got to scroll up for a little bit in the Twitter sphere to see where we get these updates from. Now, it came to some point where FTX was now asking them for help because they were going to go bankrupt. They were having liquidity crisis. They needed Binance to step in, right? So then he says, this afternoon, FTX asked for our help. There is a significant liquidity crunch, like we talked about. To protect the users, we signed a non-binding LOI integrating to full acquire FTX. So they're going to try to acquire FTX to help save everybody from this thing crashing. Now, this is where the legal jumbo mumbo starts coming in. And this was where it could come back to Elon Musk. Because do you remember when Elon Musk said, I should buy Twitter? And he made that post saying we should buy Twitter. And then he went on to say, okay, I am going to buy Twitter. They started talking about, okay, this is the share price that you got to buy at. They were agreeing on these terms. And then Elon Musk started seeing more information about the company. He's like, I didn't know this existed. I'm completely out, which then pushed the stock to crash. And then they fired back saying, you can't just come out here and destroy our stock saying you're going to buy it and then come out and say no and then trying to profit from it. It's like you're screwing with this. It's completely illegal, which then forced Elon Musk to buy it, right? So this is what was going on kind of with CZ. They're asking him for help. But CZ and Sam, Binance and FTX, were in a fight, which CZ basically crashed the market. And now he's going to step in and buy this whole thing up on pennies on the dollar when basically him and Sam were the ones that caused it. And then the CEO, Alameda, just kind of sold out because they didn't like the drama. And he actually went on to say, as a result of corporate due diligence, as well as the latest news reports regarding mishandling customer funds and alleged U.S. agency investigations, we have decided that we will not pursue the potential acquisition of FTX. All right, because you can't just crash it and then end up buying it all there. They literally crashed it, and then you can't step in and just buy it. And what could we learn from this? And he went on to say 2 big lessons. Never use a token that's been created as collateral. That's basically what we have with the US dollar. It's not backed by anything. What do we do if there's a crunch? We print more money, right? So it's always good to have cash at hand and have other stores of value. He goes on to say, number 2, don't borrow if you run a crypto business. Don't use capital efficiency. Have a large reserve, all right? Like we said, they didn't have a large reserve to actually pay out everybody. But this is typically how the banks are run. And then he loves the banks. He wants regulation coming in, right? And so he basically modeled everything about what the banks are doing, right? But they were using collateral with stuff they could just print out of midair, and they didn't have the capital. He's using collateral of the very own token that it was backed by and that they could create at any given time. Binance has never used BNB for collateral, which is their token, Binance's token. We have never taken on debt. All right, that's a good sign. Kind of like that, right? So that basically wraps up the whole drama of what's been going on between these guys of Sam Bankman versus Mr. CZ. Now, what was nice to hear is he exchanged messages with the president, Nayib Bukele, who is the president of El Salvador, a few moments ago. And he says, we don't have any Bitcoin in FTX, and we have never had any business with them. He is the president of El Salvador, and I lived there for 3 months. And I actually uploaded a video talking about crypto and how the adoption of Bitcoin has done in El Salvador, and me living off of it for 24 hours exploring El Salvador. So I will put that in the description below if you guys wanted to see that. But there is so much misinformation out there. I don't even think that we have everything in front of the public eyes, to be honest. So what did Sam have to say after the dust has settled? Well, I'll read you a couple of them. I will have links down below in the description. He says, number one, I'm sorry. That's the biggest thing. I effed up and I should have done better. He went on to say up here, at some point, I might have more to say about a particular sparring partner, so to speak, aka CZ, but you know, glass houses. So far for now, that's all I have to say. Well played, you won. Sincerely apologize. So if you guys want to check that out, that'll be in the description below. Let's look at the charts because this thing is absolutely dropped. It's also sent Bitcoin dropping from its $20,000 support. We've seen this drop over 90%. It went from $22 FTX token down to $3, right? It's currently sitting at 3. The lowest was down at $2.2. Even Bitcoin itself, we look at the daily time frame. This is a daily time frame. It's not like 1 minute. BTC had an over 20%, 24% drop in those 2 days of what's been going on. A lot of money was lost. A lot of money was gained. This is the crypto markets. This is why you got to be careful. Don't keep your money on these exchanges. And you know, when you're playing in the crypto market, it's a dangerous game, but hey, that's what you signed up for. Take caution out there. And I think I said everything that I needed to say here. So if you guys really did appreciate this video, I really appreciate it if you guys hit that like button. If you guys want to reach out to me on social media at Moneyball Austin, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And if you guys would like to see how I'm traveling and trading around the world, head to moneyballtrading.com. That will be in the description below, where you can get your free training on how I'm doing that and how I'm helping other traders make money consistently. Thank you guys. I will have those videos and any links to this in the description below. Let me know your thoughts down below. I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers. Bye-bye.